ISO IC 42001 is the standard which is introduced by the International Organization for Standardization, which basically works on introducing various standards required for governing the in upcoming industries or any area. So 42001 is a standard which is focused on the artificial intelligence and how it will help for the AI governance and risk management. So during this course, what is that the aspirants will get into is what exactly is the artificial intelligence and machine learning, what are various concepts for the AI and how ethically it can be used. So it all this is defined in the clauses of the ISO 42001, and also it has got certain controls which help the implementation of the standard. So why this standard is designed? The purpose is to promote, to make sure that there is a responsible use of the artificial intelligence by the organization, identify the various risks which are related to the artificial intelligence, and how to treat those risks, how to respond to those risks. That's the purpose. So is it the standard which is whole and soul which will help you to govern the artificial intelligence? So it is not. There are various other relevant standards which in coordination with this standard will help the proper implementation. So when we are going through the actual course of 40 hours, you will see these concepts. You will also go through the case studies, exercises to make everyone aware that what exactly should be done when you are actually auditing ISO 42001. Okay, it also has the introduction to ISO 42006, which defines what are the actions, how the certification bodies who are implementing or who are certifying ISO 42001 should be governed. So there will be a quick introduction to that. And then, of course, most important part, apart from the 42001 standard, you will also get into the auditing principles to certify this. So there will be a, exhaustive session which will be on the ISO 19011, which actually guides the auditors to how to conduct the audit. Okay, what are the resource requirements for AI audit? So do you need tool, do you need any expert? Because many a times you are doing this course because you are having experience as an auditor, but you might not be expert in the artificial intelligence as a technology. So where you should take the expert help, how the applications and the environment should be audited, how the report should be prepared, how to conduct the meetings, how to write the non-conformities, how to write the reports. All those things will be covered during the course. So majorly when you are going through the course, there will be introductory discussion on artificial intelligence and machine learning, AI and ML. So what is the significance, where it is used, how it got emerged, what are the key concepts because of which the artificial intelligence came into the picture, how machine learning is using the artificial intelligence, what is the importance, what are the examples of the machine learning, and how data science is key to get into AI and ML. So we are going to have a brief discussion on these things during the course. So when any organization want to develop the artificial intelligence oriented applications, or they want to use these applications, the ISO 42001 will come into the picture if they want to prove that we are doing it in an ethical way. Okay, so Here you will understand what are the basic concepts related to the artificial intelligence, what are the key terminologies you need to understand, like, what are the generative artificial intelligences, what are the discriminative AI, what is machine learning, what is prompt engineering, what is AI winter. So whatever is related to artificial intelligence, you will come to know about that. AI, basically, when it started evolving, it is extremely disruptive in nature. So, what is disruptive in AI? Because it is basically having the ability to actually get the performance of various tasks which traditionally will require the human intelligence, but in use of technology, you are doing it naturally using the technology. So you are eliminating the human intervention, you are eliminating the human factor, and you are teaching the system how to be intelligent. That's why it is disruptive in nature. So you have generative and discriminative AI, artificial intelligences in that. So when we are talking about generative, so generative normally is the model which learn from the underlying data. It learns from various trains of that data and then generate the new data. That's why it is called as a generative artificial intelligence. And in discriminative models, it focus on distinguishing between different categories or classes of data. So both are used in a specific scenarios. We are not going to delve into too much of detail, because the idea of the course is that you understand what exactly you are going to audit, how you are going to audit, and how you will understand that whether it is a ethical or unethical use of the artificial intelligence, how it is going to be compliant to the standard. You also will have the brief requirement study on the regulatory stipulation. So, what are the importance of the regulations in artificial intelligence? How to create the transparency on the applications, ensure that ethical practices are followed in AI, address the concerns if there are any from the regulatory perspective. And that is where this standard ISO 42001 is introduced. Okay, so this standard basically was designed and released in 2023 with an intention to define the requirements for information security management system using the artificial intelligence. Okay, which are these systems which are using the artificial intelligence. That was the purpose. Now when you are doing this, that is where the standard came into the picture to help organizations to design the artificial intelligence management system, AIMS. So it works on identifying various risks related to the artificial intelligence and how you will mitigate those risks. That is the purpose of this standard. How you will help organization to be structured. So where are these kind of a standards applicable? So it is applicable to all types of organization, all sizes of organization who are basically into creating or developing the AI softwares, AI tools, or they want to be the end users of these tools. It is applicable across various industries. So it is not the industry focused standard, like you have certain standards which are specifically designed for the certain industries. So this is industry agnostic standard. What are the benefits? The benefits of implementing the ISO 42001 is to improve the artificial intelligence based information security, enhance the risk management process, and also boost the confidence for the stakeholders that you are using the artificial intelligence responsibly, so that it leads to the responsible use of the artificial intelligence. Do the risk assessment, risk management for that, helps you to adopt that risk-based approach, select the right tool to develop artificial intelligence, or to select the right software if you are the end user. It increases the efficiency in the utilization. It helps you to implement various controls related to the artificial intelligence. So what are the other standards which needs to be supported for ISO 42001 or ISO 22989? This standard basically focuses on the definition of various terminologies on aspects of artificial intelligence system. So that's the base of 22989, and you use this standard when you are implementing 42001. Another one is ISO 23053, which defines the framework of the for the systems which are used for machine learning, where you want to develop the machine learning. Basically, many a times in the machine learning softwares which are created for various industries. And then last but not least is ISO 23894, which focuses on guidance to risk management in artificial intelligence. So these are the standards which help to have a smooth implementation of ISO 42001. You just need to know the relevance, because as an auditor you will have to see where the applicability will come into the picture, but you are not going to audit these standards, you are going to refer these standards. Okay, so when we go through this, there will be various case studies, various exercises to frame the audit for ISO 42001. So what is that you are going to check? How you will create the AIMS as a process, how you are going to create the artificial intelligence risk register. All those things will be considered during the course. So it will also give you the introduction on the ISO 42006, which is currently in the development stage, which defines the requirements for the bodies providing the audit and certifications on the AIMS, which is under development and is expected to release any moment now, because it is completed and is under review since 2024. Then once this basic framework and artificial intelligence oriented things are covered, we are going to get into the auditing principles and conflict of interest addressing when you study ISO 19011 guideline for the auditors. So what are the various principles under which the audit should be done? How the conflict of interest should be avoided? What is a conflict of interest? If you are consulting the organization for implementing the ISO 42001, then you cannot be auditing that, because you have already given a consultancy for implementation, then you cannot be auditor. Okay, so if you are doing audit, you cannot suggest any solution. So you have to make sure that you are impartially doing your role. These are the auditing principles which we will study in detail. What are various principles, how the auditor should behave ethically. It also will help for the structural and the resource requirements which will be required for the AI audits, because you will need various kind of resources based on the organization you are auditing. So you might require subject matter experts, you might require the data analyst, you might require the coder who understands the various AI languages, who understands various AI tools, because as an auditor, you might not be subject matter expert in everything. So, how you will structure your requirements, how you will analyze, and how you will manage the resource requirements to make sure that you are conducting the audit in right way. So that is also something which we will study under ISO 19011. So then with all this, there will be the uh, audit application, what you will do, and then you will recommend it for the certification. So certification will be there post audit, that you will decide whether the organization is fitting into the certification, are they entitled to be certified, or there is the uh, re-auditing or improvement required. So now, as an organization, if you say someone is not fully entitled to be certified, there are a lot of compliance issues, and you deny the certification, then maybe there is going to be a case of appeal. So all those things, all those situations, we are going to have a discussion on. So how you will create those documentation, how you will gather the information, how you will validate those AIMS related documents. All these things we will discuss as a process. As an auditor, what is your role? How you will collect the evidence? How you will document the evidence? How you will preserve the evidence? Because as an auditor, when you visit any premises, you are not supposed to carry any physical evidence or a digital evidence with you. You go with your knowledge, you go with your processes, you do the audit, and what you carry with you is only the report. What you carry is your notes, which is your evidence, and based on which you prepare the report. You are not supposed to gather any physical information with you as an auditor, because that is a proprietary property of organization, and auditor is not supposed to gather those things. Then you are also going to discuss the process requirements for audit program. So what are various processes which you have to follow? So how you will gather the prerequisites for the audit? How you will gather the information about the organization? How you will prepare the audit plan, audit program? How you will fix whether the audit has to be completed in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days? How you will plan those things? How you will come to know that what is the scope? So all that requirement gathering, how all that document gathering process will be there. Then you will prepare a program, then you will share it with the respective organization, you agree on the scope, then you select the audit team. So when you select the audit team, then you will come to know that, okay, what kind of a people you will require. Okay, where, how many places you need to audit. The organization is having only one location, organization is having many locations. All those things will be considered when you are certifying the organization. You will cover the locations, you will cover the durations, you will define the audit methodology, you will define the audit time. What is audit methodology? Are you going to do on-site audit? Are you going to do off-site audit? Okay, you are going to do sampling in which way? You are going to, go and do the sampling on, say, in the lab, or you are going to do the interviews? What is the method you are going to follow? Or are you going to do the mix audits? How much duration you will need? Okay, how your plan will be prepared, how many people you want to meet? All those things you will plan in advance. Your sampling methods, as I said, your how you are going to do the sampling on overall data, how you will do the combined audit of various departments. Because if you are certifying the organization, you will not be certifying only say the development unit. You might have the scope maybe for finance, maybe for HR, maybe for procurement. So based on that, you will decide what exactly you are going to collect, what exactly you are going to audit. So all that will come into the picture. Okay, you will define the objectives, you will define the criteria, you will define the places, you will define the instruments. All those things will come into your planning. Okay, so these entire things will be part of your AIMS audit plan, and you will align, you will take a sign off on this plan from the organization before you start allocating the resources. Before you start your visits, you will ask for the audit representative or a management representative to be nominated from the organization, who will be continuously accompanying you during the audit visits. All those things will be there. So you will do the certification audit to start with. So when you are requested by an organization to come and do the audit for the ISO 42001 compliance, the first audit what you do is called as a certification audit. So in a certification audit, you do the initial certification where you do the initial information gathering. Okay, so you ask them for the evidences of the whatever they have done as a AIMS framework implementation. You validate those, you see that the primary requirement is met, you analyze the scope, and then you plan for the stage one audit, which is a preliminary audit to assess the readiness, where you go and you check for the basics. Okay, so there you validate the documentation, there you validate the processes followed by the organization, and if that audit is cleared by the organization, you recommend them for the stage two audit, which is a comprehensive audit for the certification. That's the final audit in which you analyze the compliances and you certify them for the standard what they are opting for. Here it is 42001. So if there are any gaps in stage one or stage two, you give the non-conformities, you give them the time to comply with that, and then if required, based on how many non-conformities are there, based on that you either re-audit them or you recommend them for the certification. So that processes also will be discussed. Then you have the recommending and reporting of the audit. So once your audit is done, you collect the required information, you uh, highlight the specific elements of the AIMS, what are the key components which are reviewed, the criteria for the evaluation, and then you document the findings and do the recommendation. So after certification, what do you do? There has to be the maintenance and surveillance. So once the certification is done, certification is valid for 3 years. So next 2 years, you will do the surveillance audit, and again on the third year, it will go for a recertification audit. So recertification is to be done every 3 years. So that's the process which has to be followed, and that is universal for any ISO standard. Okay, in case if there are any changes in the certification, then it goes for a special audit. So for example, there is some a process change or a software change, or maybe the name change or a address change, if it has done by the organization and they want the certificate to be amended by the certifying body, then based on the requirement, based on the evidences given by the organization, the certifying body can go for a spatial audit. Okay, so recertification audit is something which happens every 3 years. So that's what we are going to cover in our course of this 42001. It's the fresh standard. Many organizations are still getting ready to prepare for it, and that's where it's something which is of the most important importance, that there are many people who get ready to audit such organizations. So that is what we are going to study in this particular course.